Good evening, all of you. First of all, I would like to say that whatever motives we are having, there's something that is uniting all of us here, which is why we are together. So, one of the things that really intrigued me and made me to talk about in this session is relationships, how to create meaningful relationships with people. And the question arises that how can I take my life from a very limited point where I am feeling a little bit anxious and not feeling good to a point when I can actually connect with others. Now, the first point I want to talk about is how can I have that connection with people if I can't have a connection with myself? Means I'm not getting what I love, I'm not getting to know what I'm really passionate about. I'm always concerned about what people think about me. I'm always concerned about people's judgments about me. So first of all, I need to really separate myself from judgments, from other people's thoughts. And I need to understand that every human being has their own opinions about life. Every human being has their own perspective and has their own belief based on the way they have been conditioned, based on what they have accepted in their heads. So, we should rather understand this in a way that everyone is unique, everyone has a different point of view. So, we don't have to judge a lot about that. We should rather concern about our own perspectives and how it can bring any impact in people's lives. So, that made me come with this point that first thing is always recognizing what it is inside me that I can share as a gift to the world. Everyone has a gift to offer. We are not here just by accident. We are here for something more. This is what I personally believe, and this is what I have been looking for a very long time. And I would like to share a story with you guys, which I hardly had talked about with anybody else. Only my best friend, who is sitting right in front of me, knows what had happened. When I was in 12th standard, a severe depression took me. Actually, I was very concerned about life and what its motive is, why am I here, what do I need to do. I was feeling very stressed out. Like, yes, I'm studying, yes, I'm doing a lot of things, and a lot of tensions automatically came to my mind that if I fail, if I can't do this thing, if I can't crack that examination, what will happen? So those things always kept me worried, and he was the guy, my friend, who I used to look up to, and he was the guy who used to connect with me. And slowly I started searching for answers, and thankfully, due to social media and other contents, there were people who were willing to share their opinions, who were willing to share their experiences. From there, I came to know that life is about a lot of things. It's not a tiny particle that we can define as life. Nobody has ever been able to describe life completely. It's very, very unpredictable. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. So from that point onwards, actually I was not doing well in my examinations, but when I started consuming those contents and I was talking with people, I started getting better. My mind was getting calmer. And at that stage, when I was actually severely depressed, I was not really feeling good. How could I concentrate in my studies if I cannot feel good or stable? So slowly when I began to get stable, I could focus on the things that I was doing. And when the examination went, it went fairly well, thankfully. And later on, I discussed and researched a lot about this, like how I can improve life, what is it, why am I getting such questions. Like I was asking my parents, but even they were saying that why are you focusing on such things, Abhishek, when you have so many things to do. So I was not getting appropriate answers. It's okay, but my seeking was not really stopping because I knew I was not getting satisfied. The answer or the longing to know the answers deepened within me. So from that point onwards, the search never stopped. It's still on, and still a lot of answers are coming. There are a lot of teachers. There are a lot of things, especially in this time. If we listen to the guidance that is already available to all of us, I believe we cannot get depressed easily. We just need to seek for help. Most of the times we are suppressing a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, which are creating a lot of unnecessary pain for us. So when we seek for such guidances, we can actually ease those things, and we need to apply those things in our lives. So that's number one, like working on ourselves. And when we work on ourselves, fundamentally we will realize that as we begin to change our thinking, our perspective, our feelings change, our emotions change, our actions change, everything changes, our choices change. So from that point onwards, new things come, new opportunities emerge, and we unite into a journey that has never been experienced before. The second thing is, I have experienced some changes. Now I need to express that to others. I need to look for those people who are actually in my situation when I was there. And I need to share what I have discovered to those people so that they can overcome and help others as well. So from that point, things begin to change. I realized one fundamental thing from a lot of teachers. In fact, I find this common in many teachers, that the more you give, the more you will receive. This is something that cannot be denied. Whenever we are depressed, one of the biggest reasons I have discovered from my own situation is that we stay depressed because we are concerned only about ourselves. My life, what I'm thinking, what I need to do next, that's it. I'm not concerned about the next door neighbor. I'm not concerned about the person who is suffering a lot. I'm only concerned about myself. But the moment my perspective changes, I realize that, okay, now I'm feeling happy. I will automatically feel like sharing that happiness with others. I will automatically feel like connecting with others. And I will realize that this is very purposeful in life. And this purpose can bring a lot of happiness, a lot of unexpected happiness that no one can ever expect in life. So from that point, we begin to understand the meaning of meaningful relationships. That it doesn't come by sitting alone and thinking only about ourselves. It comes when we first recognize how we can improve our lives and then start helping others improve their lives as well. From there, we create a deep connection of oneness which can never be explained. It is a feeling that is so connecting, that is so loving, that nobody can ever explain that, believe me guys. And from that point, we will realize that this is the thing. We can have different kinds of professions, we can do a lot of things, but this one thing should be common in all. That how happy we are currently and how much happiness are we sharing to others. This is the root of happiness or relationships that we can build. Now there are various kinds of relationships. We have a relationship of a better half in our lives. We have a relationship of father, mother, and we have relationship with our environment. We have relationship with our elders, with our juniors, and then with animals, birds. There are a lot of things. So every moment I'm interacting, it cannot happen that I'm not. If I'm not interacting, that is one of the reasons I'm depressed. Life is itself an interaction. I cannot stop that. If I'm stopping that, I am suppressing myself. If I'm suppressing myself, I'm creating depression. So when I start, maybe I'm doing a very small thing, talking to a next door neighbor, or feeding a dog, or just going out in nature and staying there for a couple of minutes, I will feel a betterment and openness because I'm connecting. If I stay limited, if I stay bounded in a boundary, how can I feel the connection? So the boundary is actually in our minds. We are creating it. We are thinking that, oh my God, my life is not working. What is the purpose of life? Life is hard. Things don't work properly. So again, we might have shifts, and when we start having shifts based on our own experiences, we start experiencing things differently. And that's when relationships, the meaning of relationships, start growing in us experientially, not just conceptually. We can have conceptions, we can have our theories about relationships, but sometimes we have to jump into the ocean, swim there to understand the depth of it. Just like that, to understand the depth of relationship, we need to understand how to give it, how to give the qualities that we already have. One more thing is that people have opinions, everyone has different angles to a situation. But what is my own angle of solving a problem? Sometimes whenever I'm interacting with people, I don't have to impose or force my ideas on others. I have to listen to that person also, because I need to understand that everyone is unique. This constant reminder brings us to a stability and ease and acceptance, and we start accepting each other as ourselves, that we are not different. We may look different, but we are one. We have fundamentally those capabilities which are infinite and which can be brought about in a way that can transform people in numerous ways. So from that point, we will realize that yes, life is beautiful. Yes, things can change. Maybe I was thinking or overthinking a lot, which was creating a lot of trouble. The moment that changes, few things can change. Again, mind has a lot to do with subconscious beliefs, and more on that later. We can talk about such topics later. But coming to the topic of relationship, a healthy relationship always starts with a healthier mind. If a mind is healthy, intentions are better, relationship will be the best. Thank you so much.